Electric vehicles give us a lot of power and a lot of torque, but unfortunately they lack a soul. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching this, wherever you're watching this from. Welcome to another episode of Auto Insights. My name is Mason Juguna. Na tunasemanga Auto Insights is the ultimate destination for car enthusiasts and consumers. And so for that reason, nilitembea through 6 counties ndio niwaletee this content. Na najua kuna mtu anajiuliza mbona tunaona hii background nye tulisema ni ya kwenda class. So this is just temporary. Venye nilienda those 6 counties, sikuweza kuenda na my director kwa sababu alikuwa na shughuli 2-3. And so I was not able to shoot the intro na pia sikuweza kushoot the outro. So this is why I'm shooting it here. What you're going to be watching after the intro itakuwa ni kitu tunaita EV expedition. Muone hizo counties naongelea what happened na ni nini ilikuwa the reason ya kutembea those 6 counties. So from the intro ako kavida mmeona hapo the first generation Toyota RAV4. You know, I know I've said some not so nice things about EVs ama electric vehicles, and mi naweza sema I'm guilty as charged. Nimekubali makosa yangu. But hear me out. That was the old me. That is the person who had never sat inside an electric vehicle, let alone drive one through towns and through counties. So fast forward to today, I've just come back from one of the most eye-opening road trips, an EV expedition from Nairobi, tukaenda Murang'a, tukaenda Nyeri, tukapitia the Nyeri National Polytechnic, ambapo pale students wanasoma mambo ya engineering ya stima, wengine wako pale automotive engineering. So you know, if you fuse them together, inaweza make sense. So the same day, which was on Saturday, we spent the night in Nanyuki, and then the next day tukaenda Meru, tukaenda through Tharaka Nithi, and then tukamalizia Embu, where we spent our night. And hiyo siku ingine sasa, the last day, which was the last Monday, tulipitia Mwea, tukapitia Sagana, and then we went back to Nairobi. So all this ilikuwa tu ni mambo ya sensitization, and let me tell you, it was not just a drive. So ilikuwa ni kama mission ya kuonesha wasee that electric vehicles are not just a trend. They are the future. So they are cleaner, tukiangalia in terms of emissions, they are smarter, and na alafu sasa one of the best things which applies to watu wa Murima ni their money saving. So in terms of costs, maintenance na fuel na nini, hapo at least kuna kitu inarudi kwa mfuko. So buckle up as we hit the road, we meet real folks, na pia tuna dive into the world of electric vehicles. But sasa juu kwa hapa Auto Insights KE, we are going to do it the Kenyan way. So ama Kenyan style. So we keti hapo hivyo, relax, tulia, and then sasa tukupange na hii mambo ya electric vehicles. Tuone kama tutakuwa able kuconvince either ununue moja ama ulease moja, ama uambie rafiki yako mwenye unajua ako able ajishikie moja.
So I want us to understand that in Kenya we have tariffs. Tariffs means that the government have provided the EV users or the EV consumers with two types of tariffs. We have an off-peak and peak Peak means when everybody is using electricity, so our grid is KPLC transmission, is maximally used. Meaning, this is between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. 8 a.m. is when we go to our jobs. Everybody is using electricity, right? Past 6 p.m., everybody has gone home. That is under peak. So when we are under peak, we have been provided with a very special tariff for 8 shillings per kilowatt hour. Our battery is 34 kilowatt hour, and 1 kilowatt is sold by at 8 shillings. So let's assume it's 40 kilowatt. 40 times 4 is how much? 4 times 8 is 32. So you're paying 3,200. 3,200, you get your 340 kilowatt. 40 kilowatt. 1 kilowatt will take you maybe for 10 kilometers. So you have like 400 kilometers of range at 3,000. Mafuta 3,000 inafika wapi? Nairobi. Nairobi kama unatumia Daihatsu Mira. The 800cc vehicle, right? So for this, we are talking about a typical 1,500cc equivalent of a vehicle. So I want us to compare between an EV and an ICE and see how much of energy consumption. So wacha niwapatie a very good equivalent of EV. When you're using ICE, specifically petrol, because it's the best, efficient ICE, we know that petrol gives us 55% of energy efficiency in terms of compression. Kama kuna mwalimu hapa maybe anaweza ni correct ama mwanafunzi mwenye ameiva mambo ya energy consumption. When you use a petrol fuel, the amount of energy in terms of output is 55 converted to kwa diff na road wheels because of the energy exchange, friction losses na heat losses. But for an EV, the minute I press on that pedal means that the traction motor transfers the energy direct to the road wheels. There's no transmission, there's no gearbox, there's no energy loss. I get 95% of my transmission. So if my battery has 300 kilometers of range, then my road wheels get 95% of that 300 of kilometers of range. But for an ICE, internal combustion engine, you get 55% of that. And that is natural because we understand how automotive engineering works. So the reason why we are here is to create awareness and tell you people that e-mobility is the way to go, but we need to understand what is ICE offering to us before we move into EVs, and what is the EVs look like in terms of myths, misconceptions, abracadabra. So I'm giving out 15 questions. 10 ladies, 5 gentlemen. Or 8 ladies, 7 gentlemen. 15 minutes of questions. Randomly, anything. You can start with the HOD. HOD akona mambo. He's my good friend.
Yes. Me, it's not a question as per se, but it's we are trying to understand the safety. The safety in respect to the explosion, the way you have talked about. We have seen the IC exploding, but we have not seen
the
EV exploding. Maybe it might be because it is very new technology in the house, but we need to understand how safe the EV
is an EV vis-a-vis an ICE.
To the IC.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other question? At least 2 questions I can respond to, then we go to the next one. You had a question.
Yes. Depending on the battery, the lithium battery, how can you maximize the lifespan
of an lithium-ion battery? Do you have that follow-up question before I answer the 2? Okay.
So mine is more on the topic of charging infrastructure.
Sustainability of CI. Yeah, I know most people would want to buy an EV, but wanauliza nitacharge wapi? Sasa tuko Nyeri, utaenda mpaka Thika ndio uweke moto alafu urudi imeisha. Oh, good question.
The last one is what that I have had
Umesikia?
Yes,
Sio
nimesikia.
kusema na kuambiwa.
Nasema
Umesikia?
nimesikia ya kwamba there's another type of a battery which is doing more better than the lithium. Yeah.
A blade battery.
Nasema.
Thank you. Let me respond to the three questions, then you can go to etc. I start with the first one. Safety. Iko wapi ile plug yetu? In an EV, once you see orange, orange means high voltage. So those of us who own cars, I don't own a car. Si taringa mimi sina gari. Nafunza na magari wenyewe, but I'm hoping to own one soon. So when you see an orange color, it means high voltage. High voltage is 320 and above. Some people are tolerant to even 240 volts you can hold, and you can. For me, I am not tolerant. If I do 220, I'll be electrocuted with bars. And some people have, because of electron flow. Electricity is flow of electrons from negative to balance equation. So you go to negative to positive, then you optimize positive becomes neutral, then positive have to push electrons to negative so that we create that equilibrium. This is what breaks the equilibrium of electron flow. This battery already has 320 volts. What is voltage? Current flow or energy flow? Current, right? But energy ni watt or wattage. So this is a circuit breaker. See, I'm sure most of us have a circuit breaker. So unaomba mtu gari unagurumisha haigurumi. In circuit breaker, it breaks the current flow from the battery to the instrumentation and starter. But for this EV, it has a battery that has 320 volts. But the amperes depends on what activation switches. For amperes works with switches. Sindio? For those who've done electronics, mnajua amperes is sini energy in motion, but it's about switching on and off because it's amperes. So for amperes, it does with 5 and 10 amperes. 5 depends on either switches and the indicators. 5 for the low voltage instrumentation and control. I'm sure for those who've done it automotive engineering, you know which currents or which circuits carry 5 volts. So that is about control. But for the circuit breaker, this is a 320 voltage circuit breaker. Once you remove this, even if you touch anywhere, the voltage from the battery will not affect you in this vehicle whatsoever. Now, I know you're asking yourself, hii gari iko na battery ya kawaida? Yes, it has the normal battery. The 12 volts or 24 volts, depending on the size of the vehicle. For what? For starter and instrumentation. Hii battery hapa inahitaji some small juice ama some energy to activate it to start the system. This is a smart vehicle. You could call it a phone on wheels, smartphone. You see how you have your own smartphone? It has application, it has everything. But the only difference between your smartphone and this vehicle, your vibration, si unajua ile kitu ya kuvibrate. Do you know that it goes in circular motion? So your vibrator is your motor. If it's a front wheel, your vibration will be at the rear. If it is like that. So that's how the vehicle works. Uses a motor to juice up the battery to run the traction motor. But the motor is not a brush motor. It is a brushless motor. Brushless. Kwa wenye umefanya automotive spell diploma, I'm sure for those who are in third year, you know brushless motors, north, south, and why do we have brushless? Because of increase efficiency. Na hakuna mambo ya contact. Mechanical efficiency, it is increased. There's no depletion. That's why EVs, you don't need to go to the mechanic every time, every now and then for you to have your after-sale services. So for an EV like this, you have 2 years of warranty before you go for service. But for an ICE, after 6 months, you have to go replenish your oil. Maybe you get, in different types of oil. But for this one, the only things that you do replenish suspension, unangalia, coolant. This vehicle has a coolant. So I want to talk about coolant because it's very key. So this battery, when you charge, when you are charging or you are juicing up the battery, it gets very hot. And nakumbuka watu mfanya physical science, we say that charging is bombardment of particles. What do you do when you bombard one particle with another particle? Sina create heat. That heat is heat energy. But the bombardment collects the electrons. Unajua atoms na release electrons. I mean physical science now, when you bombard electrons at atoms at very high, they produce electrons. We gather those electrons to convert them to energy. There's heat generated in charging. When you're discharging, you collect those electrons together, then you discharge them through a channel. Also, creates what? Heat. So we have a coolant that cools the energy. Our guys are here with the van. Finally, I'm happy to see them. They were calling me, that's why I kept on pressing my silent mode. So that's why when you are charging a vehicle, ni kama unarusha electrons kwa kitu imejaa. So you are bombarding, it gets hot, right? So we have a cooling fan and cooling. Everything about cooling of an ICE vehicle is equivalent to cooling of this. Only that you're cooling a motor and a battery. But for an ICE vehicle, you're cooling the engine and the gearbox. Kweli? Maswali sasa. Yo, nimemaliza maswali tatu. What was your question? Efficiency.
Yeah, I'm maintaining the battery.
Oh, okay. For this, the only mechanical parts of an EV are two: the motor and transmission. Transmission namaanisha when I connect my terminal to the motor will rotate some gears, but those gears are either going to the half shafts ama zinaenda kwa diff na ndio ziende kwa transmission. So if I have a 4-wheel drive, means I have a motor on the front wheel, front wheel, rear wheel. But most EVs have 2-wheel front ama 2-wheel rear. So there's no loss of energy. But loss of energy, for those who've done mechanical engineering, when we are transmitting energy on a solid state, you know how energy losses are calculated. That is equivalent to a natural. But this one is a direct control energy. So the losses are even less. Because we are transmitting energy from an electrically controlled motor to a mechanically controlled motor and a rotor to the road wheel. So mechanical efficiency is the negative only. Then now you have maximum efficiency.
To mine is in terms of maybe efficiency, maybe like load is. So
Load versus efficiency. Good. Now, this is where it comes even tricky. Also, this is physics. I don't know how many will understand this, but when it comes to load, when we do introduce load on a physical pull-up efficiency, what do? We say it is always a third of the maximum efficiency you are doing when you're doing load pulling from zero motion movement. So if an EV has a ton of, like, let's say this EV is a 30 kilowatt hour battery with a 3-ton load weight. So the only how much distance can this EV go? It will go for 100 kilometers because it has 30 kilowatt with 1 ton of tons. So in every kilometer it consumes 0.1 kilowatt hour. But that is equivalent to the motor rating, and the motor rating is equivalent to the road wheels base. Now this is physics. If you have a base of road wheels, if you have 2 wheels tires, that means that the friction equivalent, or the resistance of friction becomes twice. Same is the right wheels, and then now you go to the reduction of the gear reduction at the diff lock. Then you remove the maximum efficiency of the propeller shaft. Go to the motor. Give me the battery input, and then I give you the motor. You calculate the what? Power output. Hii ni watu wa diploma wenye wanafanya national higher diploma. So this is where we go to maximum efficiency on an EV. But I will tell you that 1 kilowatt hour will take you for maximum of 10 kilometers without using maximum effort. So an EV, what is the equivalence of efficiency on an EV? An ICE vehicle, petrol, we rate it at 55 efficiency percentage. That means 1 liter of petrol ikichomwa inaweza kuwa na 1,000. Let's give 1,000 as a maximum efficiency. But generally, when we are speaking in natural languages, when you burn 1% of a kilometer of a petrol, it gives you 55% of energy equivalent. But when you burn diesel, it gives you 33 to 37%. But when you burn EV, that is electrical stored energy, gives you 95% of efficiency. Efficiency maanisha ile hiyo energy iko stored kwa hiyo tank. Kama tank ni ya 60 liters, ninasema hiyo tank inakupatia 60 kilowatt hour of energy of a petrol, then a tank that is 60 kilowatt hour of battery will give you 95% of that battery is giving you. because of energy losses, because of heat losses. Alafu transmission. Remember, an EV doesn't have a gearbox, haina propeller, iko na motors, na motors iko kwa mguu. Na kama kuna propeller, that is where you initiate the propeller ama transfer case losses of energy.
Another question.
Please.
Now considering these EVs are relatively new technology, then I saw again like Toyota are kind of developing an hybrid engine in inatumia hydrogen, which they are saying is more
efficient
per load. So is there a probability ya toke kwa EV bandwagon turuke kwa
Actually, a hydrogen propelled vehicle is still an EV. I want us to understand. An electrically propelled vehicle is only that it has something called traction battery. Aina EV battery. Hiyo maneno ya EV battery, there's nothing like EV battery. It's called a traction battery. Means that it stores energy for traction purposes. Ni kama mimi uniweke damu alafu niambie kimbia mpaka Mombasa, mimi nitakimbia as long as niko na hewa. That is exactly what I'm meaning. So when you have an hydrogen vehicle, what an hydrogen does is hydrolysis. For those who understand chemistry, hydrolysis, you break hydrogen, una mix na nini? Oxygen. What do you get? Water. So hydrolysis, it has the maximum energy production. It is a reaction that gives you maximum hydrogen or energy output. So when you are breaking hydrogen with mixing with water, that is where you get your electrons. Because you have to break the hydrogen equate H, alafu equate 2. How do you break one hydrogen into two hydrogens? Energy. So you break two electrons, you gather those two electrons. And in oxygen, how many oxygen has how many electrons? 2 more. That is chemistry. Tumeenda chemistry. I hope those will follow me. So we have 4 electrons. Can you imagine 400 of energy efficiency? Breaking hydrogen and water with oxygen, you get electrons. But now that is the hydrolysis. Hydrogen creates electrons, they charge the battery, then the battery used for traction, full stop. So it even extends. But storage of hydrogen, for those who've done chemistry and are very passionate about chemistry, you know hydrogen storage is very expensive. Hydrogen is a very unstable and an explosive chemical, or rather oxygen. So if you introduce oxygen to a hydrogen, it will explode. That is the amount of maximum energy we have in hydrogen. Yes. Have I answered your question? So hydrogen is the future of EVs, but it is a very expensive technology at this time. If you use hydrogen for maximizing energy efficiency, way to go. That's the future. But for now, we have to start small and R&D and see how do we minimize the input of hydrogen in terms of income generation, and now see how we can maximize energy efficiency. Last minute, we don't have time. One last minute.
Cost, no more question. Cost, when you compare this cost of this vehicle against an vehicle.
So cost, to draw the line, cost equivalent between an ICE and EV. An EV is double the equivalent price of an ICE, but after sale services, 4 times less. And in terms of income generating, if today I buy an EV worth 5 million and you buy an ICE worth 2.5 million, in the next 3 years, if you're working in the matatu sector, I'll make more money than you, because I'll not go to the charging station, I'll not go for the servicing. So yeah, and you will be paying less for fuel, which is electricity.
What about
Last one,
electromagnetic radiation?
Now EMF. Not just electromagnetic radiation, but in EVs we have something called regenerative braking. Wenye wamesoma maneno ya magneto na alternator. When you press on a brake on an EV, what happens is the motor turns into an alternator instead of a motor. We know motor is it takes energy to motion. Alternator makes motion to energy. Si ni kweli? Hebu nione mkono wenye agree na mimi. Hakuna mtu anagree na mimi. Na mmesema we need to dig in our books. So alternator takes motion into energy. But what does a radiator or a motor does? Takes motion into, so it's the opposite. So when you brake on a brake of electric vehicles, it rotates the motor anti-clockwise. makes it regenerate. So the motor turns into an alternator. Inaanza kucharge ile battery. So unajua stator na rotor. Wenye mmechora hiyo kitu. Kuna stator na kuna rotor. So the rotor becomes the stator becomes the rotor. Si unajua mambo ya generation of electricity. Yeah. But it is hakuna brush. Hii si starter. It is a non-brush motor. HOD, you can take over now.
Thank you. I'm David Mwangi, Chief Principal, Nyeri National Polytechnic. Today, we had the pressure of having the GIZ team that is dealing with e-mobility to come and sensitize our students on our electric vehicles. We had one that is behind me, a Hyundai, and there's another one up there, which is a Matatu set-off. One thing I've experienced in this vehicle, it is very smooth, and it is noiseless, and the comfort is at another level. And as an institution, training institution, this being a new technology, we are trying to look at how we are going to partner so that we can come up with a curriculum for 3 months so that we can train technicians who can be able to handle electric vehicles in Kenya. So thank you very much.
I want to see you.
Let's start off.
All right.
Oh, nice. So which the seat, like that. Oh, nice. Nice.
You're good?
Wow, this is actually the beast. Yeah.
Because switch on, switch the button.
This is the key. Or baby. Yeah, it's on right. It's on right. Wow, just like that. Wow, this is even easier. I see you soon.
All right.
She's good. Very.
What an experience. Better feel it. Better get it. Wow.
Tell them what is your experience.
Wow, what an experience. You're gonna feel it, get it, connect with the car. Bravo. Karibuni sana, we are happy to have you, and more so on the course you are on sustainability. That's our angle, that's our agenda, sustainability. Personally, for me, I know I'm also big on it, and I believe even where I am, you can look, we are right in the town, but just look at the fencing. The parking, the demarcation of the parking tells you a lot about sustainability, right here from what we do. We basically also do like everything, even the furniture work is also done here because we want it done our way because of what we know about the sustainability. There is no shortcut about sustainability, much into it. And like the vegetation that you see here, the watering is done through irrigation water. We have a collection point for our irrigation, for the rainwater, and then we do the watering. That's where we are able to maintain this green, irrespective of the season. This place can be dry, but you'll always find it in this state. So, what you're doing with the e-car, it's the game. And if you're not reducing your carbon print in whatever you do in your day-to-day basis, then you are not in the right direction. As a business owner, from our homes, what we do in our homes, that's the angle we should be going for. So as Glacier Hotel, we are much into this, and we are happy to see you here and also to support what you're doing. Karibuni sana. And as you go on, we believe that this will be the way to go, and you'll advocate this to the globe. And the Kenyans will also receive this. It's not about the cost. It's about the big vision, How far are you going with it? I may buy it priced right now, but it will serve me for longer duration, and I'll also be taking care of the environment. So why not? Why not? I've just had a ride with this one here. Yeah, basically I can be one of the drivers for the Wangige, Ruaka, Ruiru. Yeah, yeah. When I grow up, I want to pursue that. Anyway, karibuni sana and keep up the good work. Yes, good.
Ladies and gents, welcome to day 2 here in Nanyuki. We are at Glacier, we have the Wuling Air, we have the Hyundai Kona, the KYC V7, and the Green Shark there.
Hi guys, my name is Brian Kikimoy, chairman of Electric Car Society, and we organized this, and it's a 3-day road trip from Nairobi. Yesterday we started off yesterday. We got from Nairobi to Nyeri Polytechnic, which was very, very interesting, exciting, and all that. So today we are in the second day, day 2. We'll be moving from Glacier. We'll be heading to Meru, Greenwood Mall to do EV activation and awareness session. And then after that, we'll be getting to Chuka to do the same thing. So guys, you're missing a lot, man. So we are left with 2 days. Today and tomorrow we'll be having we'll be finishing tomorrow. So guys, watch this space. Be electrified. Bye-bye.
Hello, Africa. Karibu, Kenya. We are at Nanyuki. This is the equator. And my name is Pius Wabome. I work for GIZ as the e-mobility advisor for the country. And I really am focusing on e-mobility adoption, acceleration, and focusing on building capacity and skills in the e-mobility sector. Yesterday, we had a very, very fruitful day. We drove all the way from Nairobi up to Nanyuki. We are trying to show people and trying to help them understand what is range anxiety, and we're breaking the barriers around Mount Kenya. So today we are starting day 2 from Nanyuki all the way to Embu. Looking forward to conquer more terrains and conquer the Mount Kenya as we show people or prove to people that range anxiety is no longer a problem and the future is electric. So I would say the biggest challenge in EV adoption, first of all, is access to finance and also knowledge dissemination. We have so many myths and misconceptions about EVs, and we also need to explain to people how or what is the importance of having an EV. So I would say if you have access to finance, especially when we want to purchase an EV, because an EV is almost double the price of an ICE equivalent, but the return of investment is definitely upfront. So I would say access to finance and understanding exactly what is an EV. So the myths and misconceptions need to be. So I would say those are the 2 biggest challenges. And now an EV is bringing now a good solution, especially for the industry in transport. All right, so I would say charging infrastructure is one of the biggest challenges, especially when it comes to the physical planning and also adoption of e-mobility. We know that e-mobility is mostly concentrated in the urban areas, Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa. But now we are in Nanyuki already. This is the equator. So we are trying to push for more conversation, installing charging stations. Like in Nanyuki, we have charging stations. So that tells you if you come all the way from Nairobi to Nanyuki, you can have a charging station, you can extend your range. So range anxiety is no longer a conversation that we should be talking about, but we need to extend how long can you actually extend your range. So for me, I would tell people that the more we install the charging infrastructure, the more we'll accelerate adoption of e-mobility. I would say, like I said previously, access to finance is one of the biggest challenges for e-mobility, because before you get finance, the financier has to understand what's your business model, what is the return of investment when they're giving you that loan or that finance or grant. So we need to come up with some very, very smart solutions into e-mobility, because e-mobility is a carbon footprint mitigation action, which is a good thing. So we are looking and exploring on different financial models to support transition from the ICE or internal combustion engines to e-mobility, which is a zero emission vehicle, and reducing carbon footprint. So we are talking to banks, financiers, try to understand how do we get into carbon credits, how do we get access to grants and financing the startups, etc. I would say EVs make life easier, let me start with the people living with disability. A good example would be someone who uses a wheelchair. An electric wheelchair is more effective, efficient for someone living with disability instead of using a manual wheelchair. So we are seeing the impact of e-mobility in helping even inclusion of even gender. We have different models of motorcycles, you know, scooters, etc., just because of e-mobility. So as a new industry per se, I would say it is creating a new platform for women, youths to come into this platform so that they can show what they have and prove that actually they can bring something on the table that is tangible. So I would say e-mobility is a good platform to enter the market for women, for youth, and anyone who wants to venture into the transport sustainability. Hello, let me start this. So, to the Gen Zs listening to me, I'm not a Gen Z, but I behave like one because I have so many friends who are Gen Zs, but I'm trying to understand what is our impact, what is our perception, and actually how do we digest everything else. So I'll tell to the Gen Z, or Gen Z, keep up the good work. E-mobility is the future, and the future is now, not tomorrow. We are not saying that we are building leaders for tomorrow. The leaders for tomorrow are already here, and we are the leaders as the Gen Zs. So I'm telling you, e-mobility is a good platform to access the public transport and the transport generally as a sector, for the young people to come and voice out their, their ideas, voice out their solutions to make sustainable transportation solutions. So moving from ICE and carbon footprint into zero carbon footprint in EVs is a good platform. So I'm calling upon all the young people, the Gen Zs, come on board, join us, do the two-wheelers, do the three-wheelers, four-wheelers, show people that it's possible and join in the industry. Let's change sustainable transportation solution with rethinking transport. Hello! My name is Pius. I just want to do a very good and a thankful comment to our coverage media. So we are at Auto Insights Kenya. This guy has been documenting and staying with us all the way. We started yesterday from Nairobi to Nanyuki. From today, we're gonna go all the way to Embu, but through other towns. We sleep at Embu, then tomorrow morning go back to Nairobi. So we are doing around Mount Kenya. And he's been covering this, very supportive. If you want to know what is happening in Kenya and Africa in automotive, subscribe, follow, and comment. Make sure that you are on board when we are transitioning from ICE to EV. Chop!
This entire EV expedition around the beautiful Mount Kenya region would not have been possible without the amazing team at ECAS 254, the real MVPs behind organizing the whole event and pushing the electric vehicle movement forward in Kenya. And also big love to BEV, the home of electric vehicles. They did not just sponsor the journey, they supercharged it. And if you're thinking about getting one electric vehicle, whether it's a bus, whether it's a pickup, whether it's a motorcycle, they are your go-to solution. Finally, shout out to Peerage Marketing, the creatives behind the scenes, making everything pop, from digital branding to PR and clean visuals. They are the plug for all things professional. This journey, this video, these vibes, all powered by them.
Often what I do, get investors bring cars, back them, take people to collect. This is your turn. This is like what
So,
Now that you're in Meru, tell us how you are feeling.
Meru, ECAS 254. Very interesting, adventurous. We went through meandering on the roads, but this is an experience of a lifetime. And we are here at Greenwood City Mall. Greenwood City Mall. And we want to do activations, AV activations, and sessions with the locals to create awareness of electric cars and to push and to drive the adoption of electric cars in Meru County and Mount Kenya region as a whole. So we are having a blast. You're missing out. Yes, thank you.
Meru is doing good. We are glad to be here. It's been a good journey, and we hope that everyone will see how we are having a good alternative with e-cars, and it's good for mobility. So we hope to see more of this coming.
You can pop.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I have 5,000 Kenya shillings up for grabs. And we're going to get someone random here to prove to show us an engine, whether there's an engine, all right? So I have 5,000 Kenya shillings to give up for grabs to anyone who will be able to meet this challenge. So I'm going to get some random people over here so that we get who we'll work with. They are coming. And let's wait, let's see. I have 5,000 shillings up for grabs for any stranger here who is able to show me an engine. So let's wait and see who I'll challenge. I hope they'll not box me, eh? Okay? All right, let's see. Hi sir, I have 5,000 Kenya shillings to give you up for grabs. I have a challenge. And I'll give you 5,000 Kenya shillings. I want you to come and show me an engine. Kama kuna engine pale. Ukipata engine pale, I'll give you 5,000 Kenya shillings. Do you want that challenge? I'm giving you 5,000 Kenya shillings.
Pata engine.
Ukipata engine pale. Let's go see. Let's go see. If you get engine here, I'm giving you 5,000 Kenya shillings. Aye.
What nini are we talking about?
You can open there.
What kilometers are you talking about as a charge?
After charge, then is going to 514 kilometers.
Oh, so you have to pull up this cap.
This is for just storage. He's trying to look for an engine. I'm giving him 5,000 Kenya shillings if he gets an engine here.
Oh, you mean doesn't? No, it should have an engine.
Should have an engine. You believe every car has an engine? Now, are you giving up on my offer? Now I want to introduce you to electric cars. Have you heard of electric cars?
Definitely.
Yes, electric cars do not have engines.
Oh, they don't?
Yes, what you do is simply they have what we call battery, which powers it. And you can charge an electric car using just a home socket, as you can see. You just take this one, you place it here, you charge it, home socket. And this one will give you, when you fully charge it, it will give you 500 kilometers worth of range. The other one will give you 200 kilometers worth of range.
Depends on the size of the battery.
The size of the battery. Na ile, uneka tu 14 units of electricity. Uneka tokens ya 400 and it will take you 200 kilometers. This one, uneka token ya 64 units, that is 1,500 shillings. It will take you 500 kilometers. That is the range. Have you learned something about electric cars today? Any question?
Definitely, very many questions. I can't answer
Many
them
questions.
right now.
All right.
Because believe there's some moving parts here.
Yes. No
So how do this
service.
service.
No service. There's no oil change, oil filter, all those kind of things. No service at
No,
all.
that's basic service. There is
No.
advanced service.
No,
Their
there's-
brakes, their whatever. They are moving
Of course,
parts
but
here.
ile
With
service
oiling,
tunafanya
with
every
whatever.
month after every 5,000. No, we don't have oil change. We don't have air filter. Those things, there's no.
That's basic.
What you do here is brakes and brakes and tires.
There is no coolant. There is no.
No. This coolant is just for battery. Just to cool the battery. But it's not the coolant we think about.
It still uses the tyrants. It still uses the.
Exactly. So what these cars is battery, motor, that's it. In fact, the car itself is battery. It's like somebody selling you battery. The price of the car, a bigger percentage of it goes is the battery actually. Any other question?
No.
Makes sense? And we also have a variety. Let me give you this, Joshua. We have a variety of cars.
Definitely, it can be the same power. With the
Yes. So we have a variety of cars and all that, and we have a movement where we are promoting the adoption of electric cars in the country. So I hope you've learned something today. Mawe imeanguka wapi chini? Yeah. So you'll give us a call in case of anything. Thank you for your time.
So,
And God bless.
The power. How,
The power.
How is the transmission?
Si una charge tu na home socket, unaona?
No.
Mm.
The power, you see.
Motor.
Diesel cars are more powerful than petrol, right?
Diesel cars are more powerful than petrol. True?
This is 600 Newton meters to 30 kilowatts. So around 268, 270 horsepower. So 600 Newton meters.
Yes, my brother has not won the 5,000. So I don't know. Guys don't want money or what? But it's also a good way to get guys to learn about electric cars and just a good challenge. So I believe we'll need to get a lady so that we balance the whole thing. So let's look for a lady and then we do this. All right? Okay. How you doing? My name is Brian. Yes. Now I have 5,000 Kenya shillings up for grabs. Do you love money? Do you want money? So I want to challenge you to show me an engine in that car. If you show me an engine, I'm giving you 5,000 Kenya shillings. Can we go? Let's get to see it, right? Yeah. Fine. Yeah, you don't know. But you know, you've heard of an engine. You know a car is owned by an engine, eh? No engine. Yes engine or no engine? All right. Thank you. All right. Now, before you go, this is an electric car. It does not have an engine. You charge it with the home socket. And when you charge this car, when it is fully charged, it takes you 500 kilometers. This one will take you 200 kilometers when it is fully charged. And do you know how much you spent? You spent 400 shillings on tokens to get it to 200 kilometers full charge. And this one you spent 1,500 Kenya shillings. Have you learned something today?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Any answers? Any comments? Any compliments? Okay. Good. Thank you for your time. All right. Ule mwingine. Come. Hello. Hi. My name is Brian.
Treasure.
Yes, I have 5,000 Kenya shillings up for grabs. If you take this challenge.
No, thank you. Maybe another time.
You can take this challenge.
Thank you so much. For today, maybe next time.
I wanted just you to show me an engine in that car. If you see an engine, if you show me an engine, I'm giving you 5,000 Kenya shillings.
Guy, I really don't. Do I even know where it is?
Yes.
Surely.
Come see. Come see. Yeah, come see. Yes. This is an electric car.
Yes.
Yes. Just look at it whether you can see an engine. Can you see an engine? If you can see an engine,
Wow. Is it that one?
no, that's not an engine. That's not an engine. All
See
right.
it anywhere.
What's your good name?
My name is Kendi.
Kendi, this is an electric car. It does not have an engine.
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
So how does it work? It has a battery
Okay.
to power it.
Yes.
So how do you charge that battery? You use it.
Okay.
And you use, what you do, you can charge it at home.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And once you charge this car to full charge, it will take you 500 kilometers, and this one will take you 200 kilometers.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
And you spend only 1,500 here to full charge, and then you spend 1,500 shillings to take you 500 kilometers, and this one you spend only 400 shillings to take you 200 kilometers. Have you learned anything today?
Yeah, sure.
Are you going to pass the knowledge?
Yeah, to others.
All right, so let me give you this. Let me give you my card. And then you can have this as well. Yeah, so there are many variety of cars as well.
Okay.
Yes, that
All of them, they are electric.
electric. Even you have a matatu, electric matatu there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have a society we are running. Okay. It's a community of electric car owners and enthusiasts. You can go read about that.
Okay.
Thank you for your time,
You're
Kendi.
most welcome.
That's a good gesture from you.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
I know you're a busy person.
Yeah,
and
sure,
all
sure.
that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good day.
All right, good day. So we have all these people, they are not able to identify an engine. I was willing to give them 5,000 Kenya shillings, but I'll stay with my 5,000 Kenya shillings, go take my coffee, because guys cannot find an engine in this car. So we've seen both male and female, not able. So I believe it's high time that we educate people about electric cars and to show them the importance of switching to an electric drive. So mimi wako Brian Kipkemoi, wishing you all the best as we electrify the future of mobility.
Bei ya hii betri ya gari ni how much? Nasikia ni 350. Kako sawa sasa? Msikia kuna wenye karibia kana nini? Sasa hii karibu kako sawa.
Kwa majina naitwa Daniel. Mimi ni mkaaji hapa hivi Nairobi. Hao watu wa electric cars, electric bike walikuwa wamekuja hapa kutuelezea about how they function. So on my side nimeendesha hii bicycle, inakaa tu like inakaa bicycle lakini ni electric. So enyewe hauchoki ukiwa kwa barabara. Na tuseme sasa kama uko na shughuli kidogo kidogo ya town inakusaidia sana. Kwa sababu kitu kama tuseme unaepuka kitu kama jam, na kitu kingine tuseme unataka kutoka kunaenda kwa bank fulani ama unaenda kufanya shughuli hivyo itakusaidia sana. Na kitu kingine si cost as in si kitu like utaweka mafuta. Then kitu kingine si kitu mzito, so wadu unaweza sukuma tu for fun. Yeah, that's all. And shukran sana.
Okay, kwa majina naitwa Jackson, mimi ni mkaaji hapa Embu. Na kusema kweli hii bike iko fiti tu, like kwa shughuli zako ukiweza amua kushika hii bike itakuserve tu sana. Nashukuru.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Gabriel Mutugi Mureithi, mimi natoka hapa Embu. Kwa vinye nimeona hii bike iko tu sawa. Ni mzuri, inarahisisha kutembea, ukienda nayo kwa soko na kazi zingine ama kazi. Na kusaidia hata kuripoti mapema kama unaingia job. Iko tu sawa, iko fiti, haichokeshi. Iko comfortable ukiendesha.
Kwa majina ni Victor Mugendi, photographer wa Embu. Haka kitu ni kanoma. Kwanza mimi nikishika haka, kwanza hiyo majob zangu tu kuziride, hakuna kuchelewa mboka. Kako fiti, okay. Kwa na kichere, shika kama hii, itakusawa. Kafiti.
Ni ajose, naitwa Abdul. Nimetoka Embu Dallas. Na hii gari ni comfortable bro. Ina feel comfortable. Na napenda infotainment. Infotainment iko fiti mbaya. Haiko loud, iko so quiet. Iko so modern. Na nimependa venye haitumii fuel 0 to 100 4 seconds. This is very nice. Ina feel very comfortable by the ina feel very comfortable. Hata the key na kafiti imenibamba, na ningependa ku own such a thing in this new nini. Na by the way ati ina full charge na 2,000. Kwa hivyo kuminukiwa Embu ukienda Nairobi na moja inatosha, so punch. Iko sawa. Gari iko poa. It's a nice thing, na nimekuwa tunaiona kwa nini. Inakaa poa. Okay, mimi kama Gen Z naweza buy Motijo. Kwanza inakaa fiti. Mrembo wangu anaweza nice. Na iko fiti, na inaokolea nini environment by the juu you emit smokes. Iko poa na ni cheap, iko fiti for your amount of money na hiyo performance yake. Gari iko poa sana, comfort superb. Unasikiaje?
Iko fiti. Gari ni smart. Na
digital na inachunga environment. Haina pollution, haina noise pollution, haina pollution kwa environment. So ni gari smart. Tumependa kabisa. Ningependa government iendelee kuongeza vitu kama hizi.
Hii ni mafuta mawabling. Hii ni mawabling ama ni magede? Ni magede bana.
Hii ni coolant,
Coolant ndio. Coolant ya kukula. Ya kukula. Sisi tumetoka China ya stima. Ya kwa nini coolant inamaanisha?
Wewe mwenyewe unajua coolant nini? Si unajua ile ya gari ya kawaida ile coolant. Kama hiyo. But sasa hapa I cool engine, I cool to the electronics.
So for example kama si umwagilia waba, hii idea inaja tuweke maji.
Tuweke maji.
Sawa.
Hiyo una store tu vitu zako hapa tu.
Boot sando hii.
Boot iko na boot yake but hapa unaweka tu spana.
Boot ni kama ya ile. Kama ya ile.
Nini? Boot yake ni kubwa. Hii una charge kwa nyumba hii. Unaweka tu kwa socket ya nyumba, unaweka pale. Usiku gari inapata tu moto pole pole, asubuhi unaanza scooter. Ni stima. Unaona hakuna engine hapa. Hakuna engine. Normal socket tu.
Hii ya kawaida ya nyumba. Ya kuuza. Ukuta. Hata kwa extension unaweza kwa extension.
Ama utafutie mahali ka socket hapa tuifanye practically one.
Unaweza kwa extension.
Kwa extension. As long as the extension iko sawa. Unaweza weka.
Lakini ikuwe nataka socket sana.
Nataka socket.
Sasa hii nao ndio ijaisi inakuwa nini?
Hapa ni storage tu. Unaweza weka kitu yote, unaweza weka charger kama hii hapa. So
sasa inafanywa nini?
Fanya aje hii ni gari bila tunasema ni gari bila engine.
Bila engine.
So
hii sio engine.
Haina engine. Hii ni stima. Ile motor iko hapo na motor na inverter hapo. Hakuna engine.
Unagurumiza na nini?
Okay, ina function kama gari ya kawaida. Ichukulie tu kama gari ya kawaida. Ni wewe sasa umetoa fuel tank. Sasa hapo ukaweka battery. Ukatoa engine, ukaweka motor. So kila kitu kingine na function kama kawaida. Hata brake pedal iko hapo, accelerator iko hapo.
Kwa hivyo unaweza kutoa hii uweke engine.
But once umeanza kuendesha hii, uone vile inakusaidia, hawezi hata fikiria maneno ya mafuta tena.
Iko na power, iko na speed.
Hii top speed yake ni 220.
220.
Na nguvu yake inakuanga instant. Ukikanyanga hivi kwenda. Hakuna ile maneno ati mafuta kwanza iende sijui wapi. Unajua hiyo moto iko hapo chini, imeshikanishwa direct kwa miguu.
Hii ni ya nini?
Hii ni ya kucharge.
Una charge na stima?
Si ndio hii unaweka kwa socket. Unaweka kwa socket, alafu unakuja una plug.
Sasa utaenda kwa mtu kumwambia kuchangie.
Ama kwako unaweza chajia kwako. Alafu pia kuna saa hii unaona vile kuna na petrol stations. Kuna watu wanaweka vitu zinaitwa sasa charging station. So ni place unaweza enda ucharge gari yako fast. Hiyo sasa ni more fast chargers. 30 minutes gari imejaa 500 kilometers.
30 minutes.
Nenda
500 kilometers.
Kama hii ni 500 kilometers.
500
kilometers.
Uko umecharge sasa 30 minutes
0 to 100. Ukicharge na fast charger.
Kwa hivyo ukicharge unaweza enda Nairobi na urudi.
But ukicharge kama hii inakuwa convenient kwa ule mtu sema hayuko kwa biashara. Ule mtu anaitumia tu kila siku kwenda kazi, ofisi ni nini. Cause it takes 6 to 8 hours.
Na hii inaitwa aje gari?
Hii ni Hyundai.
Hyundai
Kona.
Na Hyundai original. Na hii ndio ile?
Kuna hiyo kuna matatu, kuna hii matatu pia ni stima. Hii. Hiyo ni stima. Pia hiyo ni stima. Hata ukikoa hapo utasikia hakuna sauti yote inatoka.
So gari ni tofauti tofauti.
Gari ni tofauti tofauti. Kuna kategori zote, kuna gari hizi type, kuna basi, kuna lori. Za stima mpaka lori ziko. Kategori yote kutoka baiskeli, nduthi, kadudu. Kuna kategori zote za stima.
Dereva si ukalia hapo. Dereva. Nenda wapi? Ikalia hapo kwa maji. Yes, I'm John Ndwega Mate, the founder of Pema Driving School and plant operator in Embu County. Today, I've experienced about electric motorbike, electric vehicles, which is more they are cheaper according to what I've experienced. They're cheaper and they are affordable. So today we chat with the people who work and visited me, and really we have agreed that if they can come to Embu, and then we happen that we can be able to do some business, so that the people of Boda Boda, the people of other vehicles, it can be of conducive and it can give um, those people a good business whereby they can work with them and then get good return. In the future, I believe that given an opportunity to become a dealer, um, in Embu, it will touch other places like Kitui, Makueni, and the places like Meru and Tharaka-Nithi. So I believe that if it can be extended to even to other counties, we can appreciate. So for these electric vehicles and motorbikes, I think they have done a very good job, because those vehicles and those motorbikes, they are not, they don't have a lot of maintenance, and that way, economically will be better than any other time. So we really thank God for them, and we appreciate for the work that they are doing, and may God bless them. Thank you.
So I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll tell you what I learned after a 600-kilometer journey in in electric cars. Number one, range anxiety is real. So range anxiety inamaanisha, for example, kwa watu wa petrol engines ama diesel engines ama watu wenye wanatumia ICE. ICE inamaanisha internal combustion engines. So for those people with engines, tanki yako unajua inakuanga na liters. Na hizo liters unajua ukiweka a certain amount, it's going to take you over a certain distance. So that certain distance ndio inaitwa range. The same way for electric vehicles, ukicharge hiyo battery, a certain percentage inakuoneshanga the range yenye imebaki. So range ni the distance ambayo inaweza enda na hiyo state of charge yenye iko nayo. So range anxiety inamaanisha nini? It's that fear of nikiwa na 500 kilometers na journey yenye naenda ni 450 kilometers. Nitafika, you know? Because, you know, just like ICE engines ama ICE cars, ambayo tumesema ICE ni internal combustion engines. So kwa ICE cars, the more unakanyanga gari, the more unafinya, the more inatumia mafuta. So range pia inashuka. The same way with electric vehicles, ukifika kwa milima, ukifika kwa, you know, corners na nini, unaanza sasa kujiuliza, hii range niko nayo, nitafika? But on the same note, tunaweza sema kuna kitu pia inaitwa range confidence. So kuna range anxiety on this hand, and then we have range confidence on the other hand. So, and I experienced both. So range anxiety kidogo, alafu unapata umefika journey ama umefika destination ambayo tunaenda, and then you have still left some juice ya kuzunguka tao. So hiyo ndio tunasema ni range confidence. So these machines, you know, they came a long way, literally. And I enjoyed na nikaongezea confidence kidogo, especially because I'm someone who loves ICE cars. So the second thing I learned, sasa hii ina apply kwa watu wa mlima tena, the savings on electric vehicles are insane. So number one, hauna engine, so meaning in terms of fuel, utaifikiria mambo ya fuel tena. And then bado hapo tu kwa engine, So you have moving parts, you need oil, you need vitu mbili tatu hapa. Yani unapata the engine compared to electric vehicles itakuwa na more things to go wrong. So utapata piston imeanza ku lose compression, unapata the rings zimeanza kuisha, unapata bearings zimeanza kudedi hapa na pale, and those things replacing them, mambo ya sparks na nini, so many things to fail, so many things to replace, so many things to buy, and then sasa kubuy inamaanisha burning your pocket. So hiyo mambo yote kwa electric vehicles they do not exist. So kitu tu unafanga tu kureplace ni vitu kama tires, vitu consumables, kuchange coolant pengine ya the battery, and that's about it. Na brake pads, of which hata brake pads you are actually saving because zinakuanga hizi gari zinakuanga na kitu inaitwa regenerative braking, so it's ni kama ka resistance fulani ukiachilia the gas pedal, of which it's not the gas pedal in this case, but you get the point. Ukiachilia, ukirelease, the motor now becomes an alternator, gives charge back to the battery, at the same time controls the vehicle in terms of speed. So hauhitaji kutumia your foot on the brake. So brake pads pia zina reduce wear. So unaona in terms of savings, watu wa mlima najua electric vehicles are things that zitawafurahisha sana. So you save in terms of money, and also you save in terms of efficiency, mambo ya emissions. You reduce emissions, na hiyo ndio tunataka sana sana, because our current world tunakaa mahali kuna fumes na nini, inatuharibia hata environment. And so electric vehicles in terms of savings financially, and also the green way, they are doing very okay. So the third ama the last, I think I'd say Kenya is ready. Maybe not fully there yet, but the reception from everyone we met huko, kutoka Embu, kutoka Meru, hizo place zote, it was very clear. People are curious, people are open-minded, people are open to switch. Wote wako hizi vitu zikikuja wamezingojea hivi, especially watu wa boda, the electric bodas, zizo zinaonekana ziko na market kubwa, and the matatus. Watu wa matatu kumbe wanga mnakapitia, you are waiting for that chance ya kutest hizi vehicles. Inaonekana ni kama hatukuwa the same page. Mimi nilikuwa nateta nikisema engines are the best, alafu nyinyi mmeni back up, kumbe ni kinyume nyume. Electric vehicles zikikuja mna shift faster. Anyway, I think we share the same concern ama the same opinion. I felt that they are, in terms of power, they are very adequate. Hata ziko na more power than their ICE equivalents. And then the torque, the torque was very nice. So kama unabeba mzigo ama kama una our dereva murima wenye wanapenda kubeba excess, the power and torque will be more than adequate. So I'm going to admit it, I was a bit skeptical, but now I'm very excited to see what's coming next, especially in the history of electric vehicles. So thanks for rolling with me on this journey. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe kwa YouTube. Alafu sasa kwa socials, kama una watch Facebook, utapata Facebook at GTN TV Digital, ama kama unataka kunipata on a personal level utanipata at Mayspeaks. Hiyo ni MAYS alafu PIX. Na pia on other socials kama Instagram utatupata at GTN TV Digital. On my personal level utanipata at Auto Insights KE. TikTok GTN TV Digital 254, alafu yangu ni Auto Insights KE. X pia utanipata Auto Insights KE, and then pia utatupata at GTN TV Digital. So kama unataka story kama hizi na zingine, make sure umefanya hiyo mambo yote, ume-like, ume-share, ume-follow, ume-subscribe, hiyo mambo yote. So whether you are team petrol, wewe ni mtu wa diesel ama ni electric, Keep the wheels turning. This is Auto Insights KE, hosted by Mason Juguna. See you on the next ride. My name is Mason Juguna. Wherever you are watching this from, welcome to another Damn! Whether when it's in petrol, diesel, ama electric,